For Stanford graduate student Keith Bechtol, a life of science represents a universe of possibilities. But he has a specialty.
The research that I focus on is actually looking at the highest energy part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and this is called gamma ray astronomy.
And his PhD program is in no way a race to the finish line.
Astrophysics in general is basically using the whole universe as your laboratory.
But when the lab moves from the confines of the Stanford Linear Accelerator to a winding path in the hills of the peninsula, Keith should not be underestimated.
I don't really consider myself a competitive person. I mostly just really like being out on the trail. I mean, that's when I feel most like myself, actually.
Yet his competitive edge came out in last year's running of the San Francisco Marathon. He had run cross-country in college, but San Francisco's 2010 event was his first ever marathon, a race he won.
And there's just like a lot of satisfaction that comes from in racing against yourself, essentially. I wasn't expecting it to be this much fun in a competitive way. I mean, I obviously enjoy it just going out every day, but having a chance to travel around the country in races, that's a bonus.
Now he's run around half a dozen marathons in an effort to get prepared for the U.S. Olympic trials just after the new year.
Through my series of marathon attempts this past year, I worked my time down 7 minutes to 2:16, which I already thought was like a huge step for me. I mean that's already like a huge achievement in my mind.
As for the parallels between astrophysics and running a marathon,
the actual trajectory of a scientific experiment can take like a decade, right? Or more. It can take like a substantial part of your scientific career. And I don't know, marathon's very similar. It takes a long time. Things don't necessarily work out at first.
But Keith has a knack for making it all work.
This has sort of been a second life, and I mean, I'm just happy every day that I get to run.
Lawrence Scott, NBC Bay Area Sports.